Hey everyone, Sawmill Charlie. Well, hope everybody's braving the weather here. Well, it's snowing a little bit here. There's what it looked like about a week ago for me. And we're going to have a guest speaker as soon as they get in the room. If everything goes well, uh, we're going to have the folks from Easy Ox. They are at the, hey, Sonia. And they are at the Midwestern um, Bee Conference. And they are supposed to be able to get in and talk about the changes and things that they have and new products that they've got able to put out. Hey, William, let me go ahead and drop the link. Let Bill in and anybody else that wants to come in at the time. There we go. Pin to the top, I think. There we go. And so we'll see what happens. There he is. I got my, I don't know what it is about this other thing. What's happening? You hear me, Bill?
Yep, I got you.
All right. Uncle Junior there's talking about, what is it? Bees are filling the half-inch entrance reducer slot with dead bees.
That's a good possibility right there.
I would say more so, Uncle Junior, to possibly their entrance is getting blocked. You need to go in there on a little bit warmer day, and you can, well, take a stick or a J hook hive tool. I actually have a thank you, feathers, and clean that stuff out. Hey, Ian, good to see you. Hopefully everything's a little warmer up your way, or colder, I guess is really what you're looking for the bee barn and all that. But um, anyway, we've been doing pretty good here. Hey, Dot, I had to look you up, Dot. uh, but anyway, it's been cold. It's snowing again here a little bit, not much, luckily. And hey, Clay, Mike, here's Keith. I know I watched a little bit of the live show of the stream up at the Midwestern Bee Conference. I did see Tom and Melissa in the background in there. And of course, Brian and Bruce and Greg were all there talking about whatever they normally talk about. And that kind of stuff. Sounds like Greg's going to downsize a little bit on his yard and everything of that nature.
Yeah, it sounded that way, didn't it?
Well, actually, I was talking to him. Hey, Dodd, Sarah, Brian. Brian's got pollen coming in about a week early. Hey, Chris. I talked to him out at Nobby a little bit, and he was saying trying to scale up for queen rearing and trying to scale up for nuke sales. He said he just had a hard time scaling up and all. I'm not sure. I mean, the only thing I could think of is, well, if you want to get in the nukes and get in the queens, you got to move out of Ohio and go to Georgia.
Yeah.
Where you have a longer growing season. That's the only thing I. No, I was just answering Ian's question. That's the only thing I can tell you about it, Ian, as far as I know. And all that. He's trying to be more of a, I guess, a better beekeeper as far as being able to touch all the hives, I guess. But go ahead. Well, what else did you want to say?
So a little bit off topic. Sonny Jurgensen passed away today at 91 years old.
And who is that?
He was the quarterback for the Washington Redskins for years in the 60s and 70s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. So
Well, as you can see, I'm not a sports fan.
I know.
Um, yeah, Murphy Bees and Honey. There's been, the days I've got out and did some feeding stuff. I mean, it was, I guess you might say, warm enough where there was some bees out on the snow, but that's sort of normal. You're going to have some of that. And I've used that, what's it called? That's plastic hook that
Oh yeah, from Be Smart.
Be Smart. Yeah, they were giving them out free at Hive Life a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed some of them, and I can use that to kind of drag dead out, which is
Yep.
it. If you're dragging a tremendous amount, you got a problem. If you're dragging a few out, not so bad. Chris says it's 55 where he's at,
Must be nice.
and then Brian out in Colorado said it was 64. I always thought those areas out there were cold, more so than what we would have. I do know that it seemed like this year we've had more storms coming up the coast
Yeah, we have, haven't we?
affecting our weather than we've had in the past, or most of the time the Midwest got more of the bulk of the storms. Hey, Roger, 24 where he's at. And all, but I don't know. It's supposed to be windy tomorrow. It's supposed to get cold again. Let's say back in the 20s, something like that. And I don't know. I looked in the forecast. I think it's supposed to hit maybe 40 degrees sometime next week.
Hmm.
Hmm. James is going to be a negative 25 wind chill. Hmm. Well,
So we put fondant on the hives, and everybody looked. Becky said everybody looked good. So
now all your hives are in the insulated hives, right?
not all of them, no. I've got some wood ones, but they were all still kicking. We had one that was questionable, but other than that, everything looked good.
Orlando, Florida, I presume 54 degrees. That's pretty cold. Yeah, I know Brian was saying there he gets cold occasion, but it's sporadic. But the bees have plenty of cleansing flights, and that was one thing I did see with Ian's video. They put out that he had three hives that had needed some treatment as far as the gut problems, being messy on the hives, and I know Ian's in here, listening in. I was surprised. I like the idea where he had took a piece of fondant and stuck it in the front of the hive so the bees could have something to eat, especially the ones that seemed to be out of food. That was, I know last year I believe he tried some sugar water through a Boardman feeder and all that stuff. There's your compliment for you, Bill.
Oh, thank you, Brian. I'm glad you liked it.
And I don't know whether he had a lot of success with that or not. Yeah, and Ian said they pounced on that fondant, and I think that really is a more viable way of feeding in his situation, being in the barn like that. There's not liquid, and they can get down there and chew on it and eat on it. And it's, I won't say it's as messy.
Yeah.
And everything. And, hopefully get them hives that are lacking food through until he's able to get them out of the barn. So that was interesting. So you putting what is it, super fuel on there?
Super fuel and bee bites.
Now, is this the first time you added that, or has you been on there already?
No, this is the first time this year. So
now is that super fuel? The pat is a soft,
yes,
soft fondant, I guess you would call it.
yep, it is.
I know it's white looking.
Yep. It's white and it's got apis in it, and they liked it. So
The blue squares, I don't know. Maybe that's the top chatters.
I don't know.
They have, I don't know. It seemed like they're coming up with a bunch of goofy stuff.
Yeah, they are.
Fan funding. I got on mine the top chats. That's where who's talking the most. Live chat. All messages are visible. I don't know. Well, that's good. I know them. I put the bee bites on mine, and they seem to like them quite a bit.
Yep, that's a good thing.
They wherever the bees were, wherever if the bees could touch them, they ate them. Hey
Yeah.
Ryan, far as like if the patty was out past the border of the cluster, that's where it wasn't eaten because they're not going to break. They were it was a loose cluster, but it was a cluster per se,
Yep.
and they didn't break. They weren't breaking the clusters and stuff. Yes, I the only thing I can think everyone is that replacing the wrench, that you're a person that can monitor, you're a monitor.
I still see the wrenches on there.
Wrenches are on the one side, but my YouTube side are shields.
I still see the wrench. Yeah, you're right. Shields on the YouTube side.
What's up, Uncle? Can you hear me?
I'm totally doing this wrong. I'll be back.
Okay. Hey, Joey. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yep.
You got a badge. Now you're a deputy.
I don't see. I see quite a few badges out there.
Yeah, it's all the ones I made. Um, so Joey Green, milk bees. Where are you located at? What state are you in?
Bonafide bouncer.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ryan, it's going to be windy. I guess you might be working tomorrow. Overtime, maybe. Here comes Norman. That's what I thought it was.
That's who I am. Hey guys, how's it going?
How's everything on the island?
Oh, it's wonderful. We've had a couple of gorgeous days. I'm sure they're coming your way. They're coming down the pipe, boys. But yeah, yesterday was 17 Celsius. Today was a little bit more cloud, but yeah, it was another good day. The bees are rocking. They're burning through their fondant like it's going out of style.
Huh. Yeah, I don't have you listed. Okay. I know you're in, what's the island's name again?
Vancouver Island.
Vancouver.
But yeah, I had I don't know, I had an interesting bee day today. The last couple of days. And I made some observations.
You say you were 17 Celsius, right?
Probably warmer on my property, but yeah,
17, and that means it's 62 degrees Fahrenheit, everybody.
Ian is not happy about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's like you said on his video up there, he was happy to have a snow on the ground to keep that barn cool and all.
Oh yeah, I guess that's right. He would actually rather it be cold.
Well, he likes it at 4 degrees Celsius, which is 4 degrees Fahrenheit. It keeps them at that's kind of optimal temperature.
You know what? That's actually interesting because typically here, can you guys hear me all right where my mic is?
Yep.
Okay, good.
You're echoing a little bit, but that's because of the room you're in.
But it's normally 4 degrees here, but it's also like 2,000% humidity. So it's always 4 degrees Celsius here.
4 degrees with lots of or lots of fog or something.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just everything's wet all the time. But I got to make some interesting observations today. And I'm a new beekeeper, so I'm always paying attention to everything. So if you see in my picture, I got, if I can keep my finger, no.
Yeah.
Anyways, right there, I got one wooden hive right there, and I got one wooden hive right there, and the rest of them, every single other one is really highly insulated.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I'm going to bring you up a little bit on closer. You've got those great big telecovers, I guess is what they are. Isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
are they insulation or something that goes over top of the box?
Yeah, they're basically pure foam. So basically on the top of my boxes, that's about R30. And then the sides of my boxes is about R15.
I was reading Doug here. Doug in Saskatchewan. He had 9C. So that's 48 degrees. And then here yesterday in yellow snow. What'd you do? Go outside and
Yeah, don't eat it, man. Don't eat the yellow snow.
uh
But anyway, the observations I made today that are kind of neat is that of all these hives, there's 6 that need new fondant, and all of them are the ones that are in wood. Essentially, like those 2 wood ones, they both need new fondant. Whereas, I think like that one there needed some fondant, but it was, it didn't have a lot of like I'm amazed this one survived the winter, but it's rocking. And then there's another 3 up there, but pretty much if it's in woodenware, they're hungrier.
well, now the other ones are they insulated boxes too?
All the white ones,
Yeah.
insulated boxes, except for the white on these, that's just painted white.
Yeah,
So
what I'm getting at is those are styrofoam hives, or are they plastic with the styrofoam expansion on the inside insulation?
Um,
Or are they yours?
the outside is it's called polyiso.
Okay.
It's polyisocyanide, and it's basically the best, insulation you can buy per inch. Like typically people put it in roofs and all that. The nice thing about it is it's fiberglass on both sides. Like they put a thin layer of fiberglass on one side, there's 2 or 2.5 inches of foam, and then fiberglass on the other side.
So did you make those?
Yeah.
Okay. So you made your own insulated hives.
I made my own insulated hives.
So it proves the fact that the insulation keeps them warmer. They don't eat as much.
Yep.
And all that.
Definitely. And then I got one more observation that was kind of interesting. I have a couple of hives. If you look right there, there's a stubby one there. Like if you look, come on. Wait, the microphone's there. That's why.
Yeah.
Right there, I got a stubby one there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a deep. Whereas the rest of them, they use these frames I showed you guys last time, right?
Yeah. Those are sort of like a long lang thing.
Yeah, they're similar to that. They're a deep and a medium stuck together. Anyways, anything that's just running a deep, they're pissy as fuck. Like there's mad bees right now.
Let's watch our language here.
Oh, excuse me. Gosh darn it to heck.
That's anyway. But they're mad, you say?
So anything, the ones that are using those frames there, they're like, they're just all docile. They're not flying in my face. It's like they'll fly up and they'll just kind of land on your mask and land like, I'm just wearing short sleeve shirt today. And it's like, they're all, there's a few on my arms. They're not stinging me. They're not doing anything. But the ones in the deep, it's like, I had a cloth that I was just like wiping up some mold that was growing on the outside of it. Oh, they attacked that cloth like crazy today. They were so upset. So anyways, the observation I'm making is like, if you have it's just a data point. Like I can't prove anything, but if you have like a deep and a medium together, your bees are going to be happier.
Well, I don't know whether, would you say space bill would have anything to do with that?
It could, yeah. Because, bees are like humans. They get tired of walking over each other every now and then. And they do get cranky. So it could happen. Could be space.
What I think it is that when I got the big frames, they can make a big like volleyball size bit of brood or even like just their cluster. It can be perfectly round. and then they're on the frames. But if it's a deep, the bottom's still round, but the top gets smushed. So then it pushes bees out the top. And all these bees that are out the top, they get, you end up with guard bees out there and older bees, and they all just get.
Well, if you get them smushed like that, now you're putting out pheromone or alarm pheromones. So now that's why everybody's riled up.
Well, not like I'm not smushing. Like I'm just saying, like just a normal deep. The circle is a little bit smushed, like in its normal position. And then when you open the lid, there's all these bees on top that are all there. Anyway, just a thought, throwing it out there. I don't know. Make with it what you will.
Well, all I can say is next year you'll have to put an extra medium or whatever on there and see if everybody's happy at that time.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing you can do. There's nothing to prove or whatever and all that. So Bill, when you put your bee bites on there, I guess, you're running 8 or 10? You're running 10 frame, aren't you?
8 and 10.
8 and 10. So you put a pound of it on there, or did you cut them?
I think she split them in half.
Well, they should be gone next
few days. Yeah, they'll be gone.
Next 10 days at least, or something like that. 7 to 10 days, let's say.
Yep.
And then I would say your fondant should be the same way.
Yep.
And all that.
I'm thinking the same thing.
And John there from Colorado, he's West Cliff hunting. The bees are probably not clustering much, maybe a looser cluster. Well, definitely that. I would definitely say that. I was just on another chat and I had a new beekeeper on there. He had one of them endoscopes, to go in there and look around. And of course, he's, it's all new to him. And hey, Robert. And so he was surprised that now he was in an insulated top and sides. I'm not sure what type of box. Maybe he just wrapped it. I'm not sure, but he was saying the bees were loose. They were walking around and everything else. And I'm like, well, yeah, you got insulation on the roof. You got insulation on the sides. They're warm. They don't need to be in a tight cluster. That's the typical condensing hive. Most of all your new hives, that if you buy an insulated hive, is what they call a condensing hive today, with no upper entrance, or actually no upper ventilation, I guess would be the best to say, and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Eric. And
I'd tell you with mine, like anything that's like a full-on proper hive, they're all over the top. Like they're everywhere, and they're spread out and they're not clustering. But then there's other ones, like the smaller ones, that I didn't think they were going to make it through the winter. I won't say they're clustering, but they tend to, they'll be in like the front left corner kind of thing, and there'll be no bees anywhere else. Like they're still it's a very loose cluster.
Well, you don't have the bee power there.
Oh, I don't have the bee power at all.
That's what I call it when you talk about, having enough worker bees in order. Let's say if the queen is laying, she's only going to lay what they can cover to keep hot.
Yep.
And if you don't have the bee power, as I call it, to cover that brood, she ain't gonna lay much. And then it takes her longer to generate, to get to that, up and running stage, that they're really doing something. I want to say hi to Philip. Hi, Pastor Larry. What else? We got John. And that was about it as far as the ones I've seen here recently. I've seen Todd. He was in here earlier. I didn't get the chance to talk to him to say hi. Hey, Lee. Good to see you, buddy. From Kodiak Farms and all that. So you're not really doing much else, are you, Norman, in your bees?
Right. Well, first I gotta say to Ian, it's like I don't know. I think I sound a lot like you, buddy. Would you not say that me and Ian have a similar accent, or is it very different?
No, it's pretty close.
Yeah. Sorry, Ian. You speak French Canadian too, buddy. Oh no, what am I up to? I just I just made a bunch of fondant, and I got it on most of them. I got to put fondant on two more of these guys, and then I got another yard I got to go through, and I'll put fondant on them.
And what kind of, are you making your own fondant, or are you buying something?
Yeah, I'm making my own.
And how do you do that? You cooking it and whatever?
Yeah, I'm cooking it. Like, there's supposed to be temperatures involved in all that, but it just seems easier to just boil. You put the sugar in, you add the water and the vinegar, and it boils, and then that's the perfect temperature, right? So and then you just cook that for 20 minutes, and then you put it in the mixer and afterwards, and it turns out pretty good.
Well, there must be I guess Wisconsin must be on Central Time. And is Ohio on Central Time? Bill, do you know?
Parts of it.
Parts of it?
Yep.
Well, Mike and Travis, whenever you're ready, just click on the link and come on in, and you can talk about all the up and coming changes that have been made and all the good stuff that people can get from you. All right, Ohio is on the eastern side, so they're on Eastern Standard Time, and I guess Wisconsin is Central, something of that nature. I guess. Yeah, whenever you're ready, guys, you can come on in, and I'll get you in, let you in, and they've got a lot of good news about their products and all that stuff. And they got some new stuff coming out, hopefully down the road. Got some new stuff that's now and later. I do know one of the other James is going to try single brood chamber management this year. Well,
a lot of work, James.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do, I mean, I do the single brood chamber along with my Demery. That's how I keep them from swarming on me and making more honey. That's how I'm going to make more honey. I guess I'll be tutoring Brian from Castle Highs on that this year. Yeah, they can swarm quick. That's something just by doing single brood chamber, I've never been able to really accomplish that, I'll say. Not like Ian and them guys do up there. And all that. So, well, that's interesting, Norman, that you're cooking, doing your own thing there that way. And sounds like
it's mostly I'm cheap.
Well, we're all cheap. I mean, we're all trying to keep this thing down to keep the input cost down as much as possible. Mm-hmm. It just kind of depends on the level. We had one chat. Was it Monday night, Bill, with a fellow from down in Louisiana who was, I don't know whether it was Monday night or it was one of these nights this past. Anyway, we were talking about Yeah, it was. We're talking
Yeah,
about
Monday night.
Monday night Queens and all that stuff and
Yeah.
drones and all that thing. And you and Robert and all of them were talking about that. But
Yeah.
one thing that came into mind is where he said, I started out making my own boxes, and that's fine until he got up to 100 or more hives and he needed 100 boxes today, and he can't do that. All right,
Right.
here's our guest in for tonight. We got Travis and Mike, and we're all out at the what is it? The Midwest
Yeah.
bee
Midwest.
conference out there.
Yeah.
And so let me see if I can let's see, make it this way, but we want you guys to be the guys. And I guess not. We'll go back to this for right now. You want to start your presentation now, guys? And
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about it.
all right, have you got some product there to show?
That's that's the thing. We don't have anything up here in the hotel room. We've got all about left it in the daggone in the hotel's connected to the conference center, but we couldn't get back in the conference center to get our. We wanted to bring a bucket to show you, and then we got a strip, like a sample strip that we're working on getting registered and stuff like that. But our product, Easy Ox, oxalic acid, we have, for anybody that doesn't know, we carry and do produce powder form and 1 gram tablet form, just an easy to use pre-measured 1 gram tablet. And then we're currently working on registration for extended release oxalic acid strips that will basically be a 50 gram 4-strip 50 gram treatment per deep that will be good for a 90-day period. So we're currently working on those. We've had 2 setbacks in the last, one after we got back from Nobby. We found out that they changed our registration, which normally would have took us 4 months to a 6 month, which 2 more months. It isn't terrible, but it's 2 more months. Especially when we're coming up, we was wanting to try to have them by April, May, for the prime time to be using the strips, putting them in the hives. And so that pushed us back. And then they hit us just this week with some additional testing that they want done by their laboratories. It's basically going to cost us, by the time we get all said and done, close to another $10,000 for just, lab testing. So we're fighting our way through that. And so it's probably going to end up being closer to the fall before we get our approval on that.
So I guess the biggest news is like we were talking down at Nobby that you had approval for the 4 grams per brood box.
Yeah,
We got that visual.
But now you've finally got, but you couldn't sell it at that point in time because you didn't have the paper in hand. You were telling me.
right.
We got the
And
paper now.
Now you
Yeah.
got the paper in hand.
Yeah.
So that's the first big news, that your products are labeled at 4 grams per brood box. You don't have to use all 4 grams, but
No.
you can use 3, 4, whatever you want to do as a beekeeper.
Yeah.
And then the next big thing is that you had, and this is, we were going to try to do it tonight, but anyway, you have a new bucket system.
Yeah.
It's a 5-pound bucket. And now I remember it had a special type of lid or something on it. You could
Yeah,
tell us about that.
Yeah, it's got a nice lid. It's a 5-pound bucket. It's what is it? Almost 0.7 of a gallon or something like that.
It's 0.7 gallon.
0.7 gallon bucket,
It
basically.
holds 5 pounds of powder.
Yeah, it holds 5 pounds of oxalic acid. It's got a nice ratcheting, rubber sealed ratcheting locking lid on it. And so you can reseal it if you don't use it all. You can it clicks, you know, kind of ratchets down as it locks on, and
Kind of
it's
like
got a nice.
a gas cap where it goes click, click, click.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sounds like that. It's got a ratchet in it, and then when you want to take it off, it's got like a red release button. You squeeze that, and then turn it, and it'll loosen it to take it off, and seals up really nice. Just
Kind of
helps.
like, sort of like a medicine bottle safety seal type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So
Kind of, yeah.
And then
It's,
it
pretty
with
nice.
that seal and everything, it keeps your powder nice and dry,
Yep, and
which
fresh.
and it keeps it fresh
Yeah.
and all that. And then
We also put 500 count and 1,000 count tablets in that same bucket.
hmm
okay, so if anybody that's using, I know Brian here from Flower Street, he does have I think like a regular vaporizer, but he really enjoys the tablet
Yeah. Make it
form.
nice and clean, easy to do.
Yeah.
Well,
Fast.
it's easy. It's easy to instead of measuring, you know, all
Yeah.
you got to do is count the tablets that you need, and
Yeah.
put it in, and it's there.
Yeah,
And so you got that. You both have them in either powder form or tablet form,
yeah,
and that's, you know, and it depends on if you have a vaporizer is just an old pan model. The tablet form is, to me, would be perfect because that way there's no measurement, and you can just put the tablets in that pan and stick it in the hive. And then also, like you've showed me in the past, you can take the regular vaporizers, like I have the ProVap that has the cap. I
Right.
use to scoop it out and put it in there. Or if you have the plunger, if you don't have the automatic dosing device, you can, like I say, all you got to do is take your tablets, throw them in the pan, or put them actually in the cup of the lid, and then put your cup on top, and then turn the machine upside down, and it drops into the hot pan
hmm
and all that.
yeah.
And all that. Let me we got those two products, and I'm gonna go back to the norm, and I'm gonna put myself up on the video here. I want to bring up, all right, here's the small pouches of Easy Ox. It comes in same pouch. Either pouch has either the powder in it or the tablets in it.
Yep.
And then I happen to have the props. Here is a satchel, sealed satchel.
hmm
It has, I think it's, what is it? 4 strips in it.
Four
Yeah.
strips.
Yeah, it'd be 4
Has-
strips in there. That'd be basically a single dose that you would open up, be 4 strips that you could lay in on top of the tops of the frames, and we're kind of picturing like a diamond pattern, maybe, you know, of the strips, one on one end of the frames, one on the other, and then one across frames, like on each side of like where your brood chain, you know, like your
Well,
cluster is in the.
let me kind of sort of demonstrate the idea. Now, remember, everybody is listening in. The diamonds are going down the center of the pad. If you can imagine, there's holes ever so inches, or well, let's say an inch apart or something like that.
Yeah.
And then explain to them that, I know, Mike, you
Yeah.
explained to me you could position these pads in the
Right.
hive 2 different ways.
Yeah.
And tell them about why you have the holes in there too.
Well, I worked with Greg Rogers down in North Carolina.
Yeah, now
over
let
a
me
couple-
say that Greg Rogers, for anybody that don't know, he's been working with extended release. He's had several videos out. He works, you see him on a lot of Bob Benny's videos.
Right.
And
Mhm.
working with Bob and that was the last big thing where they did 100% testing with Bob's hives, over about 1,000 hives, I think. And they tested all the different dosages with the, I think it was University of Georgia, I believe it was.
and the
all that.
University of North Carolina as well.
And in North Carolina. And Greg's lives down around Asheville. And they collaborated with the colleges to experiment and gather all this data. And that was a 2-part video and everything. So if
Right.
you all want to get more in depth, if you haven't already seen
Yeah.
it, go to Bob Benny's channel. And I'm sure Greg probably has some of it on his channel too.
Right, he does.
and all that stuff. All right, now go ahead.
Okay, now Greg, Greg and I, Greg was the first one. He wanted a quarter. Um, this everybody was using a half a towel. Well, Greg tried some that were a quarter towel, and even though the half towel worked really great, the quarter towel even did better. So we talked about it for quite a while, wondering why, and we came up with there'd be more edge exposed to the bees on the towel when they're in quarters. The bees would have more area for an edge, and we thought that had something to do with why they would work better. So I had this idea of putting the holes in the towel to give it even more edge. They would have the circled for an edge, and then I ended up we're trying to get them so the holes line up with the gaps between your frames, so you could lay them where the bees could actually come up between if they wanted to, and even crawl through the hole. And so that was the idea behind that. And you can, in a lot of these hives, people were saying they have trouble getting them up when the time's up on them. Say in our case, 90 days. You go to remove them, and the bees got them glued down, and everything. They're stuck. If your bees are really that kind of bee, usually like they got some Caucasian blood in them or something like that, and they really propolize everything up, you could actually lay them with the gap. So all the holes in one strip would line up with the whole gap.
Yeah,
And
so
that
you're
way,
two frames here, and one edge of your strip is on one frame, the other edge is on the other frame, and now you got the holes down the middle of that strip. So now the bees can actually go up the sides of the frames and then up through the holes
right.
strip.
And they're easier to clean off because with a couple swipes with your hive tool, you pretty much got them off instead of, jabbing across trying to get them off the other way.
Right.
If your bees do that, that's what we suggest. Put them the other way, the long ways and it'd be a lot easier to
with
clean
the
up.
alignment of the frames, yes.
Yeah.
Or turn them around where they're going across multiple frames, but then your holes also line up in the between the seams of the frames on
Right.
each, and you got them basically. It's all measured out there, either one way or the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, it's
bees
like an inch and
Yeah.
3/8 on center or something like that. Kind of puts the holes right between
the frames.
between
Yeah.
the frames.
So
And
they're
then-
constantly either going around the strip or up through the strip.
Yeah.
And how does the oxalic acid, do you know how it works as far as, is the
Well,
bees rubbing it, or are they chewing it, or what?
they probably do chew on it, but they just come and talk. The towel or the strip is going to weep the solution of oxalic acid and glycerin over time. Each day it's seeping out real slowly and dissipating. But in the meantime, the bees are coming in contact with it, spreading it around in the hive, and just that little bit over every day, all the time. It gets spread through the hive and kills the mites. And what I had another thought there for a second. A lot of people like Veroxin and some other people have said, well, if you got so many bees, you use this number of strips. I don't. Our research doesn't have anything to do with how many bees you have. You want the 4 strips in there. Some of it, the bees, if you ain't got enough bees, they may never touch it, but you want as much that they can come in contact with it. If you got a small amount of bees, you might have it in the wrong place. If you got 4 strips in there, they're going to come in contact with it, no matter how many bees you have. And what they're not in contact is just going to dissipate anyway. You know what I mean? I don't think.
Well, I think the main thing is you're going to put it over top of I'll say on top of the brood nest area.
Right. They lay over it. They don't hang down in or anything. They lay right on top.
Hold on, Mike. Mormon, I'm going to take you out of the chat for right now so I can give these guys a better screen, okay? All right. I'm going to move him. There you go. So with that strip now, is it, when you say it's
I think you muted yourself, Charlie.
Am I?
Something happened. I don't hear
Are you
anything.
okay now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Charlie.
Yeah,
I
now
hear
I
you
hear it
now.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now I don't.
You don't?
Heard Bill.
Yeah, I can hear him fine.
I hear you.
How about now?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Can you hear me
It's
now?
weird. I can hear Bill, but I can't hear Charlie.
How about now? No?
Yeah, I got you. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
You got us on there.
Can you hear me,
Oh,
Mike?
no.
Let's see.
Who
How about
has
now?
unmuted your mic? Says we're unmuted.
How about now?
Yeah, I've
No.
never lost you.
Can you hear me now, Mike?
Still can't hear Charlie.
Go back out and come back in.
What's he saying, Bill?
Go back out and come back in, Mike.
I can't hear Bill now.
I think it's the FDA trying to keep them down or something. I don't know.
Maybe it's their internet service. Who knows?
It might be. I can hear you just fine, Charlie.
How about
Yeah,
now?
I didn't have a problem with anybody. Yeah, everybody. I could hear everybody.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Scratching.
Yeah, we hear you now. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe
It's that
FCC.
internet service up in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
I did say a dirty word earlier. They might be editing.
Well,
Yeah.
It says we got good signal and everything.
okay, let's see. Oh, on the pads, is it a moisture that's wicking out, or is it more of an odor, I guess you would call
No,
it?
it's actually a gel like solution of
It's
oxalic acid. Yeah.
So actually they can walk through it and track
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they track it around.
And,
Yeah.
and it seeps. That's why we think the edges and the four strips rather than the half. Because before, basically, they was taking a Swedish towel and cutting it in half, and that worked really well, just having two halves in there. But then when they put it into fourths, it worked even better. So it's the edges where that solution seeps out. With four strips, you're getting more edges to where that stuff's seeping out of the four strips. So they're working around it and tracking it and chewing it and just traveling around it, crawling through the holes. The way we did ours with the holes.
Right.
Anything that they come in contact with an edge is going to be, extruding that solution, and they'll be, tracking it around in the hive and spreading it to one another and keeping the mites
Yeah.
killed off.
Mark Miller, he's got a question here. He's out. He said, "What about maybe putting a pad at the entrance of the entrance? Will that work as far as I don't think.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it kind of common sense. It kind of seems like it would, 'cause, if you had it where they were constantly coming in contact with it, but I don't know. The bees may just, when they come in, they kind of fly up into the, the bottom of the frames there a little bit. I don't know how. Maybe if you put it like right in the entrance where they crawled over it, maybe. But
Right. Well, I'm not sure. I know Mark, breeds queens and stuff like that, and he does a lot of queen rearing. And he's also in the past, and I guess he maybe still works with Corey Stevens and his stuff. So I'm not sure where he's, taking that question to.
Yeah.
Anybody that has a question for Mike and Travis, go ahead and make it all caps. That way it'll catch my eye, and then I can, ask the question. I'm not sure. I don't think Mike and Travis can probably see.
We don't see the comments.
Okay, you don't see your comments and stuff. I know that Brian, Flower Street Honey, I forgot about it, but it was myself and Brian And Greg Rogers was sitting at our table at Nobby where we were getting something neat before he was going to speak about his last topic for that day and stuff. Very nice fella, very approachable, and he will, if he's got
Sure
time,
is.
he will sit there and talk to you and answer your questions of anything that you need to know. And then everybody, and also anybody that doesn't know Greg, he is a commercial beekeeper for, I guess, 30 years or more and all that kind of stuff. So when will the strips maybe be available?
Probably by fall we'll have the approval. But you wouldn't want to put them on in the wintertime, I don't think. I don't foresee them being used in winter months. I see them in spring and summer, and even into fall, you could use them.
Yeah.
But
Well,
now,
I guess the next question I have is like, okay, are this going to be a knockdown type treatment, or is this going to be a maintainer type treatment?
we're going to advertise it as a maintainer.
Yeah.
There's some people saying that these will knock down the mites, and even in some of the testing that Greg and Bob Benny did, it did keep the mites down to 0 and 1s. I mean, but they tested all these hives before and after with alcohol washes, or I guess they used Dawn dish soap washes, but they tested them before and after, and that's what it takes to really learn what's going on.
Yeah.
And they had some that had, not a real high mite count, but they ended up being 0s or 1s. So it did knock down some, but I don't think that's the case all the time. I might be wrong.
We don't want to advertise
we don't
that
wanna-
just in case somebody doesn't get those results.
We want you to have your mite counts under control in the springtime. They should be if you did your winter treatments, and then put these on to keep them that way until you get your honey off, then see what you got then.
And then and everybody should know that oxalic acid is approved while your honey supers are on.
And these pads will be the same way.
Yeah, Roger here, he wanted to know what the price point of the 5-gallon bucket is.
Okay.
And the strips. Now I can tell you right now that you don't know nothing about the strips because you haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll
be very competitive. I can tell you
Yeah,
that with
yeah.
anything else that's out there, just like we are with our other products. But we're trying to keep the cost down so people use a legal product. That's been our goal since day one, even with our powder
How much, do
tablets.
you have a price for your 5-gallon bucket of?
It retails for $109.95, I think, at like the bee supply companies that we wholesale it to.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. That's either for pellet or for
Tablets.
powder or pellets, the same price.
The tablets like a 500 count tablet.
It's 104, I think.
Is it 104?
Yes, it's 104 for a 500 count, and
180.
it's like 180 right in there for the 1,000.
Yeah.
So that would be 18 cents a gram, roughly.
For a tablet.
So you take a 4. What's that? 50 little over 50 cents per hive for 4 grams. You'd be just over 50 some cents with tablets.
Okay.
Now with powder, it's way less. It's down under 20 cents or it's 18 cents, I think.
Right.
I have a really basic question. And
Go ahead,
excuse me,
Norm.
I think a few other people might have it out there. Can you not just use, like, I know you guys aren't legal for 4 at this point. And
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
we are.
You will be, but you're not.
We are.
We
you
have
are.
we received our supplemental label. We're now legal for 4 grams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought
Yeah.
the first thing you were saying
Yeah, we just got it last week or so ago.
Yeah, the 27th actually.
All right. Well, it's
Normally, what they've done here,
ask it.
Norma's up in Canada, Mike and Travis.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Can you use 2 strips? Like, if you use 2 strips, is that the same as 4, or is it just the density of the oxalic acid on the strip make the difference?
The
Oh, wait a minute.
So if you
you-
doubled your dosage in strips, like you use two strips, is that going
yeah,
to work as well as your new 4?
Yeah, but
The-
you're cutting,
well,
you're
okay.
cutting it in half.
Okay, we're talking about two different things. I'm sorry. We got confused here. You can use four the dosage for the strips will be 4 strips per deep. Is what
Right.
they're saying. And you want that over your brood. And we're talking about our powder and tablets. We just got approved for 4 grams per deep
for vaporization
for
method.
vaporization method. You can now use 4 grams legally with our product
I'm
per
sorry.
deep. Per
Yeah.
deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
In
So
the
that
United States. I don't know what Canada says.
yeah,
Yeah,
Canada.
we're not-
as far as I know, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
It's a golden age that never ends up here. We're
Yeah.
all just cowboys.
Right.
Well, anyway, but all right, but like I say, for clarification for everybody, in the United States, Mike and Travis, Easy Ox, got the approval from the EPA. They're totally legal. Their product is labeled for a maximum of 4 grams of oxalic acid in each brood box.
Right.
That you can either vaporize, either at a tablet form or a powder form.
That's right.
And then they have their 5-pound bucket, which is the powder form. And now you have 2 different size tablet buckets. You got a 500 tablet bucket and a 1,000 tablet bucket, depending on what you want to buy.
Right.
All that. So we got all that. And then we're talking sometime in the fall, late summer, whatever.
Yeah.
For hopefully approval for your oxalic acid extended release strips.
Right.
And
Now I get it.
generally, or basically, the satchel holds 4 strips. 4 strips is the dose per single brood box. And you put them all either across the frames or with the frames, depending on what you want to do as the beekeeper goes.
Yeah.
And they are going and those are good for 90 days, 3 months.
Right.
In a nice long time here. And they're also legal to be put on because it's oxalic acid, put on while your honey supers are on.
That's right.
So if you come into the springtime with a really super low mite load or hardly anything at all, you can slap these strips on, hopefully next spring, not this coming spring, but it's spring of 2027.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to keep that mite low. Like for me, my honey flow is 3 months. So you'll keep your mite load down all the way through until July.
Yeah.
And then you might not, and because of July being so hot, I don't know could you actually throw another dose of them on there?
Don't say you couldn't.
Yeah. There's not going to be anything.
So now
Nothing's going to slow you down. You can be making wax there at the end of your honey. So you can have your bees making some wax.
That situation there is that one, you can maintain the mite load being low. Number 2, we got a lot of 90 some degree days there, which most of the other organic treatments are temperature sensitive. I know for me, Formic Pro doesn't go on until after Labor Day. That's usually when we get a cool snap around 70 to 80 degrees a week. So I can throw the full dose of that on there. This year I used AprilGuard in July throughout August, but I was very cautious because it was my new thing because of temperatures ranging from, let's say, 80 to 90 some degrees. I didn't want to have absconding because of that product and whatever, but this might give me that alternative, being not temperature sensitive and all. And it also maintains my stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then have we figured out packaging wise, as far as how many doses per package, or is that down the road?
We'll probably have a 5 dose pack, for somebody that's just got maybe a couple, 3 hives or something. So do
Right.
like a 5 dose pack. And then I think we're going to do a 20 dose pack. Well, I guess it'd be 15. It'd be a 15 dose and then a 25 dose, which would be, 100 strips, but in packages of 4 would be 25. And then,
Well, you got to figure now. Dose is one satchel, or is that
yeah, one
if you got
satchel of so there would be 25, satchels in there. So that'd be, basically 100 strips. In
yeah,
that.
but I guess I'm thinking to myself, all right, I got 3 mediums. Most of the time, that third medium is going to be a honey super
Yeah,
going towards fall. So
yeah,
if I'm going to treat that hive, I'm going to go probably on the top middle super being a medium. I'm going to put my 4 strips on there.
right.
Now, if somebody's got a double deep,
Yeah.
would it just be, would you need to be just putting 4
I think,
strips?
Yeah, 4 strips between the deeps would
yeah,
work.
put them between the deeps would
All
work.
right.
4
So
strips.
one satchel will do a double deep hive setup,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
it'll for me, like I do 3 mediums. I put it on that second medium
Yeah.
where it's right over the brood area. So
Yeah.
20 for me, 25, a pack of 25 is going to do
Yeah.
almost all the highs I need
Right. Right.
and all that. And then what's
And they have a shelf life of 2 years too, unless you
all right? I was just going to ask that. So the new strips will have a shelf life of 2 years, and the
from the date
oxalic
that's on the
acid,
package. Yeah,
yeah, the oxalic acid. What's it?
same.
It's same 2 years from the date on the so there was a date on the top of that package. Maybe it might have got torn off when you opened it, Charlie, but there should be a date up there at that top strip.
Yeah, I see it.
And yeah, so 2 years from that
It's got a
date.
lot number and a date.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's I think all the questions I mean, I was just trying to make clarification for everybody
Yeah.
and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else there got any questions left? I don't see anything right now. So how's the show out in Wisconsin? Or has it really started?
It started, yeah.
Today was the first day. It was pretty decent. I mean, when you've been to Nobby for the last 3 years, it kind of sets a bar that, it's hard for anybody to compete with that as far as size and scale. But I would say they probably got
They're double in size from last year.
yeah, they've doubled from last year. So I think in the size of the expo center here, I'd say they probably have about between a quarter and a third, maybe
Yeah,
about
I'd say
a
a quarter.
quarter of the size of Nobby, as
Yeah.
far as how big that area is. But they got quite a few vendors and a food truck and they have several speakers and
Yes, we saw Cayman today. He was here.
yeah, they're kind of doing they're trying to get it growing, and I think if they keep going the way they are, I mean, it'll be like another northern Midwestern Nobby, in the next couple of years. I'd say they just don't get the exposure, and they don't have the people behind what
Yeah.
kind of
It's pretty close to Nobby too.
and being so close to Nobby, just
I mean, the time wise, I mean, Nobby was just not a little over a month ago. You know?
just so it's
Well,
it's kind of a lot.
I know. Is it? I got a question here for me. You thought that I was going. No, I'll be going to. Me and Bill will be going out to the Eastern Agricultural EMB Eastern.
How many people go to that?
Beekeepers Association.
What's it called, Bill?
Eastern Missouri Beekeepers Association.
Oh, yeah.
EMBA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Travis is going to that.
Me and Cody.
Him and Cody will be there.
All right. Well, I'll see you out there. Bill's coming. We're both traveling together out there. It's going to be our first time out there, but it looks like a lot of fun. A lot of bee chatters here on the Friday night chat, along with the rest of the chats are going to be there.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little after what would you call it? After evening get together after
So
the
you go
conference. Saturday
dancing? Are you going to be dancing,
night.
Charlie?
I don't think so. I'm not sure about that. But we're gonna be Saturday night. They're gonna have an after show dinner party, and that kind of thing, and a lot of good speakers. A lot of it sounds like some interesting topics. I don't quite remember exactly what all the topics about, but it should be fun. I've not been to St. Louis that I know of, and all that. Um,
Yeah, we've talked to Tom and Melissa a couple times. They're up here in
yeah, I seen them.
Wisconsin.
I watched the live stream for the stream team, and I seen them
Yeah.
sitting in the crowd there,
Oh, okay.
and all. Wasn't too big of a crowd, but you know, I didn't know what's the weather like up there. Is it snowing or doing anything?
No, it snowed maybe just a dusting last night, but it's like in the high 20s.
Wind-
Real windy. Feels like it's sub-zero.
Yeah, the wind started blowing today. It's cold.
Yeah. But yeah. Um, yeah, so pretty excited, getting these products out and getting some bigger quantities, for
Yeah, I
for
think that's.
people.
I'm happy that you finally you got your 4 gram thing. You're up.
Yeah.
You're competitive with the dosages from the other company that got it
Yeah.
changed, and then you got your bucket, 5-pound bucket, and then you got your multi bucket sizes for your tablets, and you're coming down the road for these extended release strips. It just you got to play the government game in order to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jump through the hoops. We have to
through
jump
the hoops, and
Yeah.
folks, like they were saying earlier, $10,000 just for a science experiment. They've
Yeah,
spent
just
a lot of
experiment.
Randy Oliver did them tests for me in 2 days,
Yeah. But
but they won't accept that. It's got to be from I can't GLP
GLP.
laboratory.
a grand old party.
Yeah, I guess.
GLP some kind of lab procedure
Whatever.
or something.
Somebody's got to get paid. That's what it
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's independent labs. You can pick which one you want to use, but they're all very high priced. And they got a time schedule. I just get in line once I pick the lab, and then you're on their time schedule
Yeah, you're kind of at their mercy.
as far as time, how long it's going to take them. The biggest thing is writing the procedure. You pay them, it's a godly hourly rate. It's not just the laboratory testing itself. You have to write down the MOP on how you did it, what equipment you used, the whole thing. I mean, it's like you're writing a story to a kindergartner.
Yeah.
It's 3, 4, 5 pages long, and you can do the thing in 5 minutes. I mean, how long does it take you to check if you want to check the pH of your field out back? You probably got a thing to do it.
Do a soil
Well,
sample.
all I do is I go out there and what we do is we go out and take samples, all over the place. You mix it up in a bucket, and you make, depending on what field you're in, each you have a group of samples, mix it up. That's field number 1, let's say. Put it in a little baggie, take it up to southern states. They send it off to the laboratories, and then you get a report back.
Yeah.
Right.
But like all these different science lab things, it does have to have a procedure in order to
Right.
to answer all the questions. Did you do, did this, if you did it this way, did it, was there any other unleft questions unturned?
Yeah.
So, that's how it kind of goes.
Yeah. Kind of what they'll do is they'll just check the pH, what the pH is of these strips, what the density is, and then they'll take 5 strips from 5 different packages and determine how much oxalic acid is in one strip. In our case, that should be 12.5 grams per strip.
First strip.
And Randy, it's called, you got to do that with a special technique. It's called titration. And Randy Oliver does that now. he actually tested our tablets out there in his little lab, and a while back on he like vaporized them into a container, then measured how much oxalic acid in that 1 gram tablet was recrystallized inside that container. I think that was cool.
So with the competitor, which was what's the other stuff that Main Lake sells?
Apiboxal.
Apiboxal.
Yeah.
And I was just adding up here. You got 50 grams in those 4 strips put together.
Right.
Inside Hive, and that seemed to be the same dosage that was that really worked in Greg Rogers's
Yes.
and Bob Binning's videos. They were the ones that really worked.
Yeah.
And is Apsy Bioxical, does it have the same amount in there, or is it not?
Yeah. So, well, Veroxan is who makes the
Veroxan.
strips.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Veroxan is the other strip that's registered already.
Yeah.
They have 7 grams of oxalic acid in their per strip.
Yeah.
And they're a lot bigger. So that oxalic acid spread out a lot further.
Yeah. The biggest thing is, and I know Bill, he's had experience with it and stuff, is that they loop that strip over the frame and they go down there, and it's just like a darn Aprivar strip. They chew all the wax right down to the frame, and you lose all that good comb air where yours is up on top of the frame.
Right.
And all your wax won't be disturbed or just basically destroyed.
Right.
And all that, because they're going to, that kind of thing.
Yeah, another thing is, our 12.5 grams is in a basically almost like a 7x2 strip, 7 inches long, 2 inches wide. If you think about the Veroxan, their strip is like 20.
No, it's 15 in it.
No, it's.
It is longer than it.
Yeah, it's about 23 inches, 22 inches.
17, I think. It's 17.
But so you think about 7 grams of OA in that longer strip, so that would be less per inch. That'd be less OA, 7 grams and, whatever it is, 17, 18, 20 inches. Where our 12.5 grams kind of consolidated into that 2x7. So you're getting a lot more oxalic acid when they come in contact with it. You're getting a lot more treatment.
All right.
You're getting the potency rate is higher.
Yeah. So that's why, we think you'll definitely, you'll definitely see a reduction. But we don't want to say that just because we would rather tell people, you're going to keep a real low mite count with our, 90 days. But we kind of know results have even shown an actual mite drop with that, with, the 12.5 grams in that strip, the way we're making ours. But I mean, just to save face, I think you're definitely going to see a mite drop, but we'd rather just say you're going to see, whatever your mites were going into that treatment, it's going to be the same or lower at the end of that 90 days.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
we're pretty excited about it. It's going to be a better product, and I know we're going to come in at less cost, than what's on the market. Because I mean, that's kind of, we were beekeepers. That's what our oxalic acid, powder and our tablets. We were beekeepers first, and if you wanted to use a legal labeled product, there was only Apiboxal was the only powdered form of oxalic acid that was legal with a label to use on your honeybees. And people that wanted to use that, then was paying like $60 for 350 grams. And, so that was one of our drivers, to bring a product to market that beekeepers can, afford. You're looking at basically a quarter or less per treatment, with our oxalic acid compared to, ours retails what, $23.95 to, somewhere in there. And, Apiboxal was up there, 49 to 50 some dollars.
I think it's still $54.95 on Man Lake. I think I saw that today. Someone asked me what theirs cost compared to ours, and I didn't know. I had to look it up. And I showed them right on my phone. They couldn't believe it.
But we was beekeepers first, and we just wanted to have beekeepers to have an affordable, choice. If they wanted to use a legal product, And because I mean, we were beekeepers, and we were like, man, if you wanted to use a legal label, because some people, they get if they're selling their honey or selling products or whatever. I mean, it kind of you get a little bit of a fine line there if you want to, use a legal
Yeah.
labeled product, to be able to sell your products and not have to worry about something coming back on you later. So we just wanted to.
Yeah. Let me clues beekeeper. I'll get with you on your question here. I just want to finish up here. So I mean, I want everybody to know here, like Travis was saying there, they were first beekeepers, and I know that Mike, you told me that you came up with the idea of a pellet, and you actually bought a pellet machine and everything like that.
Yep.
And you were looking for, being able to put this out as, beekeepers helping beekeepers trying to sell it as a decent price
Yeah.
and all that. And then on top of that, you are a veteran, I believe, what, Vietnam, Mike?
Yes, I'm Vietnam veteran. Yeah.
Vietnam veteran and everything. I know Bill here, he's a veteran also. And when I was letting everybody know, when you buy it from Mike and Travis, you're helping supporting a veteran owned and operated business.
I got a grandson, Cody. He's involved too. He's partial owner of this company as well.
Okay.
Cody, he's here. He walked out, I think, because we was sitting here. He got bored and walked out.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy to find that, that you got your approval on the 4 grams, and
Yeah.
you got your bucket out there. And
Yeah, we were supposed to have that back in December, and they messed up the paperwork. The EPA made the mistake. We didn't, and we had a big conference call, kind of figure out why they denied it, and then they realized they made a mistake. And I thought they'd just give it to us, And they said, no, we got to resubmit the whole thing over again. Take another 3 months. We started this back in September, and we was hoping to have it by Nobby. We was going down on the 6th of January, and we wanted to have it by then, but we didn't get it. And
I know. I stopped by your booth, and you had to actually take a magic marker and scratch out the 4 on the bucket because you didn't have a piece of paper, even though you knew you were approved.
Yeah,
right.
Had to wait.
Unreal.
And I'll tell you, you want to know the whole story. I kind of got antsy, I'd say about 10 days ago. And I mentioned it to my consultant that, hey, is there any way that I thought maybe they'd come through a little early? We're running out of packaging for our powder, our regular 400 gram powder. And I didn't know it. He didn't tell me, but he messaged the EPA and asked them. In the meantime, I have an ombudsman that I deal with in the EPA, and I kind of sent them a note and saying, hey, we're running out of packaging. Is there any idea when this is going to come? And I got an answer from the head guy. This lady, she forwarded my email to the head guy.
Yeah.
And he says, we will definitely have it by March 7th. Oh, that's helpful. Well, my consultant, when he called him, guess what? They had lost our resubmission. They couldn't find it. And he didn't have the heart to tell me. The next day, they approved it.
Yeah.
They were, I guess somebody must have been really embarrassed and just said,
somebody put it underneath the pile again.
Yeah, I got thrown on the
I don't know what happened. He said, I didn't have the heart to tell you that they had lost it. But he said, they found it. Stamped it. They stamped it approved the next day. And here I thought I did something because I didn't tell my consultant that I talked to my ombudsman.
Oh boy, they love their paperwork.
Yeah, they did the same thing with me, Mike, with the USDA.
Yeah.
On my ELAP insurance. They stuck it at the bottom of the pile and never processed it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it that, they messed it up. Then they turned around and lost it when we did all the reasons. Now, if my consultant wouldn't really be bad, that would have cost me, I know, a couple $1,000, just in his time.
Yeah, consultant.
But he was nice on that. Even though it wasn't his fault, he could have double charged me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he had to redo the whole thing over and then call to find out that they lost it again.
Yeah.
But he just kind of laughed it off, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. With dealing with the EPA, you don't. Most people probably don't realize, but you can't, just as a common normal person, you can't file and do paperwork and submit the things. They want it in a special format. They speak a different language.
Yeah.
As far
You
as their
can't do it yourself.
terminology, there's no way you could fill out forms and try to do things yourself, but once they get them, they require all these other steps that only a consultant that deals with the EPA every day knows how to
Yeah.
do. So
I tried it. I tried it
Yep.
myself.
you can't
When
even
I
do
first
it.
started this, I tried it myself.
So you're at the mercy of all these two other people, and then so when you have a consultant, and luckily we have one that's really good. He you can explain things to him, how things work, because you got to think about this too. EPA consultants don't deal, they're not beekeepers,
Yeah.
so they don't have any clue what you're doing or
Or
what you're trying to
do.
explain to them. So luckily ours, he's pretty level headed, and he's pretty smart to where we can explain things to him, write out a step by step. He kind of reads it one time, and he's got it
Yeah,
down.
he
And,
can convert what I say into his language.
yeah, and then he can translate it to the EPA, and so it's
But I want to tell you, the EPA people we deal with, they're nice people. They're really nice people to deal with. It's just the bureaucracy that they're in, and probably the workload that they have
yeah.
it's probably a zoo. You
Yeah.
know,
Like, yeah, they need a box to check. And if they don't have a box to check, then they can't give you a yes. And that's really what it came down to.
yeah.
I'll tell you, like up in Canada, what you're saying, like basically half the things I complain about are basically what you're talking about. It's like
Yeah, I talked to
government garbage. It's
Yeah.
I talked to a guy today up there works with the regulatory people in Canada. And he told me I should try to register up there. He said, be a breeze because the Canadian EPA, whatever they got a different name, but they would consider that we're already registered US. So our hoops wouldn't be as big. We could jump through quicker maybe.
But you have to jump through the American hoops. And then there's a box that they can check. Because
Right.
it's approved in America. Now there's a box they can check. And I can tell you, like I was building a park at one point, and basically I was just trying to make a path through the woods. And it was easier for me to make a logging road through the woods than it would be for me to make a path. For all the oversight, the rivers, just all the things they would have, all the little things they would have to come out and check out. And if I was doing it to take down trees and drive like logging trucks on, it would have been easier than just the path.
I'm surprised. Ours here in the States have now, like I work with a lot of highway department projects, and now we have bat trees. So if bats could habitat a tree where they would roost or sleep nest, you can't disturb certain bat trees during certain periods of the year. So your projects have to wait until that bat period time's over before you can go and disturb any trees. It's so weird.
Where did they say COVID came from?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
I'm not allowed to say swear words. I don't think
Travis.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Travis, I got Grammy midwife, which is Lisa.
Yep.
She wants. Lisa. Are you obviously have a bee supply store? I'm going to say down in. I think you're in Alabama. Where is it at, Bill? You just sent her an extractor. What state she live in?
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
She wants to be able to. She wants to email you talk to you about carrying your Easy-Ox products in her store.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You can do that.
She can go on. She could even go on. I don't know if she does Facebook or can get on our Facebook page and just shoot me a message. I can send her an email, and then we can send her, once we get her email, we can send her a wholesale agreement. And
let me let's see. We've been communicating through email.
I think we've done both text and
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
yeah, email. Yeah, you sent me an email. I think
no,
at Travis.
I have your phone number. That's what it is.
Yeah,
She could email on our website too on the
yeah.
info.
There's an info email on our website.
Travis gets them. They go into my junk file for some reason. We've never figured that out, but even the guy that built the web page can't figure it out. But he gets them, and I don't. But if I check my junk file, I can find them. But he'll get it, and he can give it to me. Then I'll email her from my EasyOx
Yeah, any
email
questions?
that I have. And
Any questions or anything? Anybody can email Travis at mikesbeesllc.com, and I'll get them, and then I can answer any questions, or if you wanted to buy bigger quantities, or something, we can work things out.
Yeah, I thought I had you in my phone list here. I know I got your card. Come on. I was going to email or text you her information is what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay. But
Obviously, I don't.
yeah, I should be in there. I know because we sent some texts back and forth there earlier. I don't
Yeah.
even remember.
well, he told you about tonight.
Yeah, it was earlier this week, I think. And then I think you also sent me an email, Charlie. You emailed me and texted.
Mm,
You got any other questions down there?
yeah, I don't see any. Let's see. Mm, I don't. I guess maybe I didn't put you in my phone book. I know I have your card here someplace. I just had it in front of me. But I will. You say she can go to your website, Mike's
Yeah,
Beat.
she can go to the website, mikesbeesllc.com, or she can email me at Travis at mikesbeesllc.com.
Hey, Charlie, I have Grammy's phone number. I'm going to text it to you.
Okay.
Um, hey, Bill, are you going to the West Virginia, the show over there? And
I'm scheduled to go, Mike. But right at this moment, I got to see what the weather looks like, and I got to see what the doctor's going to tell me when I get back from Eastern Missouri about my foot.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, because that's the last weekend. Isn't that like the last weekend of February, 27th, 8th, or
Yep,
something like that?
it is. I was going to go to North Carolina as a vendor, but I changed my mind. So I'm supposed to go to Georgia as a vendor too.
Gotcha.
Travis, I got your number. I'll send Lisa's phone number to you, and then you
Okay.
can call her up and about getting her taken care of,
Okay.
and all that. Lisa, you've already. I'm sure you're still on, so you're hearing all this. So we'll take care of you, get you all hooked up,
Yeah.
and all that. So she's having a bee store.
Yeah.
She just had her. Well, she just said thanks so much. we are excited to get this off the ground since our closest suppliers are 2 to 3 hours away from us.
Mm,
So she's providing a need in the community of beekeepers in her area for sure.
Yep.
So definitely need your products down there because where she's at, uh, temperature sensitive is big time. Being
Yeah.
you know, especially even throughout the winter because they don't really have a winter down there.
Right.
I know that Brad and from Cajun Homestead and all. Yeah, we have winter. It was 2 days long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
because it got down to 30 degrees, and after that, it's back up to 70 degrees the next day,
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. So she says thanks very much to myself and Bill and you and Mike and all.
Okay.
So we can get you hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having you up in Canada too. But I know that's a couple steps away, and we're
Yeah.
kind of hard. But I'll make sure my little local bee shop has your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some irons in the fire. We got some things we're trying to work through with for Australia, and then we talked to that, guy from Canada today, and we're going to look into that and see, we'll see what kind of red tape we got to cut through up there, but it's a possibility.
It should be really easy. Like once it's once anything's legal in the States, you shouldn't have to spend any money or have
Well, I'm sure you
has to
do.
do anything up here because
I'm
oxalic
sure,
acid.
I'm sure it's going to cost you something.
Oh yeah.
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 That we have a whole, and this is another conversation, but anyway, yeah, I'd love to have you guys up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it shouldn't cost you too much to get going.
We spend just about 20 grand a year just on state registrations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
states charge us 20 grand a year
Yeah.
for
Per
registrations
product.
per product.
Yeah. And that's an annual fee.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to find out that each state charges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's sitting right across from us. The lady over there, and Wisconsin is $515 a year that we pay them.
Yeah.
Illinois is $1,900 for 2 years,
Yeah.
and we're working on California. Just up front for that, that's $3,000 to register. Then it's $1,500 a year after that.
What does it cost you for Virginia?
I
I think it's 2 something.
275.
Yeah. I think Virginia's 2 something. But yeah, if you take
Ohio's only 150.
yeah, if you go to if you can pull up every state's, EPA or their FDA.
Well, it's you just look up pesticide registration fee for each state. All of them are different.
They're all different.
The cheapest one I know is New Mexico. It's I think it's $75,
Yeah.
and the rest of them are all like Ohio's 150.
But yeah,
Michigan's kind of high. It's up there 500 or so.
But
Some are difficult. Some of them are difficult to do just to get it registered. The people, when you got to call them, that's usually if you can get a hold of them, they're easy to talk to as well. But some of them, like you got to mail things to, like a copy of your registration. Some of them want it on a thumb drive, and others you can do online. Simple. It's and normally you got to pay. You got to pay a consultant to do all that for you. But I have mastered doing that myself. I do all the state registrations myself.
That's how you add value to your company.
Well, that's how I keep the price down at
Keep the price down.
$23.95.
because it was because we actually we had 2 companies. We looked for a company to do it for us. Our consultant, he gave us a really good
The first time.
price the first time, but we looked at companies to do it, and it was
Outrageous.
$9,000 to $12,000 just for a company to do our registrations, it's already going to cost us, 20 to 22,000, depending on what year, because like some registrations are a 2-year registration.
Texas is 3.
So, so depending on what year it is, if you're in between on a 2-year registration, you don't have to pay that one again, like say next year, then, it'd be maybe 20,000 next year, but the year after that, where you have to pay that 2-year registration again, then it bumps you back up to, so you get 20,000 this year, maybe 23 next year, 20,000, just keeps alternating. And
Yeah. It's,
um,
it's hoops. You
just,
got to jump through the hoops.
Mhm.
Yep. So, well, like I say, I'm glad that you have gotten where you're at for right now, and I know there's a tremendous amount of money involved.
yeah,
Just to
it's a shame because we want to bring, like I said, we got into it to bring an affordable product to the market for beekeepers, and I'd love to be able to compete with wood bleaches, and industrial cleaners, and try to give people a competitive price to that even, but you can't compete with, they don't have to pay all the registrations, the consultants, all the, every maintenance fees for the federal government,
It's the
these lab
label.
tests.
It's the label. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
You sell you if you're selling something on label, it's got to go through the thing. And I'm just saying,
Yeah.
in Canada, we have a whole industry of these consultants, and all. I'm just saying, you can do it
Yeah.
all yourself up here. It's not hard. You don't
yeah,
like once you guys are legal in the States, it's pretty much just. It's like, oh, you basically just tell them, oh yeah, we're legal in the States, and it's pretty much just a box, and they'll check it, and you're here. You probably shouldn't have to go through any
Yeah.
consultants at all up here.
I'll check.
You should be able to do it up here for free.
I'll have to, we'll definitely look into it, and
Like, I don't
'cause I
know.
like
I'm
to
not an
pursue it.
expert, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you got Appy Boxel up there in Canada, right?
I'm sorry?
Appy Boxel, oxalic acid is registered in Canada, aren't they?
I don't know who's up here. Like, I can get oxalic acid easily. Like, no problem at all. I can, I basically, like, I have an Instavate myself. I just buy a big, I just buy it by the kilogram, and that's just what I do. And if they don't have it that day, then I just go out, and I'm glad you said it before I said it. I just go out and buy some wood bleach. And,
Well, the only problems we have with that back before I got into the tablets was my original thought getting into this. Tablets got us here, and I didn't know everything I knew about oxalic acid then as I do now. Like, for example, if you go on Amazon, all kinds of oxalic acid being sold on there, and almost all, well, I know 100% of it, except for ours, is from China. It's all China stuff. And not even half of it is oxalic acid dehydrate. There's anhydrous oxalic acid too. And anhydrous will not vaporize the same as what dehydrate does.
yeah. Yeah.
And also, you don't know, they got no certificate of analysis for their oxalic acid. So it could have impurities in it that you don't even know about. They can advertise, well, I know some of them false advertise on there saying it's 99.9. We won't accept any oxalic acid from our supplier, which is in Spain, where our product comes from. Our oxalic active ingredient comes from Spain, but we won't accept anything that's not 99.8 or better. So, but that 2% or 0.2% or 0.4%, normally 99.6 is the standard for oxalic acid dehydrate. That 0.4, it could be some lead in there. It could have some mercury. You don't know because nobody cares. It's industrial cleaner or it's a wood bleach. It's not going in a honeybee hive where there's honey and your wax and other things that you don't want to get no heavy metals in. You're just gambling because I guarantee you there's oxalic acid out there that has those heavy metals in it because it's just the way it's manufactured and the conditions it's manufactured in. When we first started, I didn't know the difference from made in China or made anywhere. My suppliers had to jump through hoops that I can buy my active ingredient from. They had to jump through hoops, prove all this kind of stuff, these certificate analysis. How do you get that? What equipment do you use? All those hoops that I go through, just like jumping through the hoops to do the strips, they did just to be my supplier.
Yeah, we turned in
40 some
40
companies.
distributors, to buy our, supply us, and the EPA approved three.
Wow.
Just because the way they tested their oxalic acid, the certificate of analysis that they provide with it, and the way that it's produced, there was only three companies that met the EPA standards. Which, I mean, I think it's good because
Yeah.
they're policing and trying to make sure that oxalic acid, that's the big debate with oxalic acid between a labeled oxalic acid and the industrial cleaner wood bleach. Oxalic acid is oxalic acid. There's no, arguing that.
Chemistry wise.
But one that's approved by the EPA, that's went through the hoops to make sure that it meets certain tests. It's got a certificate of analysis of what the impurities are. That's what makes the difference between an
Yeah.
OA that's legal and then a wood bleach or industrial cleaner, because they don't care what impurities are in those, because it's not meant to be vaporized into your hive, which
Or dribbled.
could contaminate your comb or honey if it's got some of those impurities, the heavy
Yep.
metals, or
Yeah, you got lead in there or something. Yeah.
It could have. You don't
can't
know.
have,
You don't know what's
lead,
in it.
mercury, oxalic acid breeze. So if it's stored, because a lot of chemical companies, they have chlorine, different bleaches. They store stuff in warehouses. Oxalic acid breathes. And we know this for a fact because back when we were doing our original, when we
Research.
started,
Yep.
we got a 5-gallon bucket of oxalic acid, 99.6 dehydrate, opened it up, and you just swore you just stuck your head in a swimming pool. It
Yep.
was like solid 100% chlorine.
Yep. I had to look at the label, and
absorbed that somehow.
it absorbed. See
Yeah.
what they do. Some oxalic acid coming into this country comes like in a big canvas bag. I mean, it weighs 1,000 kilogram. It's
Yeah.
huge. One big bag that
Yeah,
is
big
sitting in a
bulk.
warehouse. It could be sitting right next to some other chemical. And oxalic acid, when it's humid, it'll absorb moisture. If it gets dry, it'll give it up.
Oh, yeah.
It's just breathing moisture. It's giving and taking. Well, if this other chemical sitting right next to it, it could be taking that in. Those odors is going into your oxalic acid. Because I called the company it was not Florida Labs, but that company was in Florida. I can't remember the name of it. Down in Miami, Dawn something.
Dawn
Yeah,
SCI.
Dawn SCI. And I bought a 5-gallon bucket or something from them. Now, this is back when we were doing research, trying to figure out how to make a tablet. And I got this stuff, and when I popped that lid, it was just like swimming pool chemicals. It was chlorine. And I looked at the label, oxalic acid dehydrate, 99 point whatever. I'm thinking, what? So I called them. That's impossible. And I says, well, I can send it back to you. Well, they sent me another bucket. And I kept that bucket for a long time. But that's when I started learning, what the heck can go wrong with oxalic acid and the differences between one and the other. And then when we did when I'm getting these companies approved, and we only got 3 out of 40 some. The first shipment I got from one of this, it came from China, and that stuff was terrible. It was like a rock. I says, what is this? And they said, well, that's oxalic acid dehydrate. It's just what you ordered. And I says, well, this is like cement that's been wet and then dried out, and it was worthless. It took me forever.
Chinese humidity. Yep.
We had to give that stuff away. I thought I was going to pay somebody to take it away. We couldn't use that for what we do. We were trying to make tablets.
But
So, Art, or Mike, I mean, I got a Mark here wants when will the larger pails be available purchase online? Now, can they buy direct from you or you have to go through a retail store?
We have a website you can buy from, and it's
Yeah.
the right now. See, I don't think anyone has any out yet because we just got the label last week, and I didn't want to ship them out to distributors until we had the paper.
Yeah, because we just because when we were coming out with the buckets, we thought, well, since we're going to come out with these buckets, we knew we were going to get our approval. So when we made the labels for the buckets, we had them made with the 4 grams on it, just so we didn't have to make because when you order labels, you got to order 5,000 at a time
Minimum, yeah.
minimum. So we didn't want to order 5,000 at 2 grams and then turn around and get a 4 gram, supplemental label and then have to change them. So, and have to sell 5,000 buckets of, powder, which would probably take us, years to sell 5,000. But I mean, so we had them made with the 4 grams. Well, then they messed it up and we didn't get the supplement, didn't get the approval for the 4. So we were waiting. Now we got the approval. So
So we got back and got caught up with orders from after we got back from Nobby, and we made some buckets. But we just got the label last week approved. It's called a supplemental label until we can get it on all the products. But our new powder we're making here when we start up our next run of powder will be even on the bags with the new label.
yeah, we got the new label for the bags.
We
now,
got
too.
new bags and with a bucket.
So
The tablets will still be wrong for a while, but we have 18 months to get that right. But we have the supplemental label on our website and we send it to all our distributors. So
So
they
what
can,
you're what you're saying on a supplement is quarter of like a add-on label saying, hey, label says 2 or whatever.
it's
Yeah.
that supplemental label, it appears just like it will appear. Actually, it's got 2 versions on how it could appear on our package.
So, so they say the label's the law. So even though it's approved for 4 grams, technically, if the EPA, which we all know they're not going to come out and inspect your oxalic acid, but if to have that legal to use 4 grams, you should have that
A copy of it.
supplemental label.
Yeah.
So I posted it on our Facebook page just so if anybody wanted it, they can go on there and download it.
Yeah,
and
we're
print
trying to
out.
get on our webpage too, so people
All right,
can.
so you go to Easy Ox Facebook page.
Yeah, it's Mike's Bees.
Mike's Bees.
Mike's Bees LLC on Facebook.
Okay, and
And
then they can print down that secondary approval label is what basically it is.
Yeah.
Saying, yes, it says this on the original. It says, what does it say on this package here?
Yeah, 2 grams, 2
Uh,
tablets or 2 grams of powder.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at, but
It's on the back
on the back under
under
vaporization.
vaporization. Under vaporization on the back.
it says 2 grams
Yeah.
per deep hive. So you got the original package, like here, it says 2 grams. Then you can print this other piece of paper from your website, from your Facebook page.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if there was any problems,
Yeah.
say,
Right.
wait a minute, here's the updated label that goes with this
Yeah.
package.
Yeah.
So
But
You'd only need that
answer-
if you want to prove to like your bee inspector that you're following the label, you could do that. Yeah.
okay,
And
well,
then, but to answer your original question, Charlie, we don't have the buckets listed on our website yet. I'm gonna try to get those done probably when I get back from Wisconsin. I'll try to get those on our website.
you already got a week.
Right, I know. And then then a lot of our distributors have the
I got them on eBay.
he's
I
got
got-
them on eBay.
I got them on
that-
eBay.
So you can go on eBay.
Easy Ox 1 on eBay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could go on eBay and buy them through eBay from us, and then I'll get them on the website. And then I know one of the distributors, Hanson's gonna take some
Yeah.
home from here. And then
He took, he's got the
LaRoe,
tablet buckets.
a bunch of the distributors, Foxhound, LaRoe, Bill might end up even carrying some. Day. I mean, there's a whole slew of all the big, all the big suppliers will be
Right.
be carrying it. So
Well, I think that
um,
answers Mike or let's see, Mark. Yeah, Mark Zess.
Mark, yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. And then, like I say, I think an important thing is, if you feel that you want that approval certificate for the 4 grams, you can go to your Facebook page
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
download that.
Just scroll down. You'll see supplemental label. I think it's on there, and then you can click on it and download and print it out, and then that way you'll have a copy of it if you need it. And then, like I said, going forward, we just got all of our new the powder bags in. So and we ordered those with it for. So all the new bags for the powder going forward will be updated. And then when we reorder the tablet packages, we'll update that. But until then, we'll use the supplemental label. And if they're ordered from us, we'll send out supplemental label with an order, from us. We'll just put it in the package. A lot of our distributors don't have them printed out to do that. That's why I put it on the Facebook page, just so that way you can go on there and, if you would order some tablets or powder from somebody and it still says 2 grams on the package, you can get that supplemental label and legally have the 4-gram treatment.
I can email it too to anyone if they contact us on email. We could email it to you if you need it.
Yeah, I'm on your page, but I don't see it right now.
It's not on the web page yet. It's on the Facebook page though.
I'm on the Facebook page now,
Okay.
but I don't see it.
Yeah. Scroll down. I don't know how Facebook looks on the computer, but there should be a post that says supplemental label.
Mm-hmm.
I put in Easy Ox into Facebook, and it came up to this Ezekiel Ox, and the first thing he's doing, this guy with a beard is giving you the finger.
Yeah, not that one.
It's Mike's Bees LLC.
Yeah, Mike's Bees LLC on Facebook.
Well, guys, it's almost 10 o'clock, and we've had a great time here tonight, and a lot.
Thanks for having us on, Charlie. We appreciate it.
A lot of good information, a lot of clarification, and everything with the products. And I'm glad that you've finally got the paperwork for approval. And I'm looking forward for the extended release pads.
Yeah,
another good option, another good and easy option, and it's. Like I said earlier, it isn't going to mess up I hate, when I was using an April bar, I tried to make sure that thing was dead center all the time hanging, and they still chewed my wax out. And you know how wax is gold when it comes to beekeepers.
Yeah, that's right.
And they don't repair that wax. I don't care what they say, especially the older brood wax.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. And your product, I think, is going to be way better than the other product.
We think so.
Yeah.
And all that. So and then Travis, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, I guess it is, at EMBA, and have a big time out there.
Yep.
And all that. So until next time, everyone, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night is Joey. Well, I guess Joey will be on tomorrow night. I don't think he's up at.
I haven't seen him up here.
I don't think he's up there with you all.
He don't want to come up here this cold.
That's right. And then we'll be back on. Let's see. Yeah, we'll be back on Bill's channel, Bees All Day, Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Clueless Bees, your question. Yes. He let me go back to here. Here's the question. Let's see. Fall. I noticed. After the first cold snap in the winter fall, I noticed a huge pile of dead bees outside of the strong hive, and he wants to know why. Way more than unusual death rate. What's going on? And then he said, the hive inside is perfectly healthy and perfectly healthy and everything like that. I guess maybe some of those bees possibly might have been some summer bees. Would you say, Bill?
Yeah.
They were more, maybe you had a little bit more summer bees in there than the winter bees, and they died out and they shoved them out the front door.
Yep.
That would be one of the things. I know my bees, I raked a few out. Like I said earlier in the program, if you got a bottom board full of bees, you might as well open that hive up because most likely they're dead. And if there's any bees alive, it's probably just a little small cluster left. And let's see, first cold snap and winter/fall. So that must have been several months ago. When I think of fall, I think of October, November. So that would be, if it happened then, I would definitely say that was some of your summer bees dying off. And the bees that are still in there are the winter bees that your hive had, gotten, had made so they could get through the winter time. So I think I would say that's your answer for that. And that just kind of shows you how important it is to get your hive with the varroa mite in good health. That was one of the things that Sammy Ramsey came to my local club years ago, before he was a doctor and everything. It was about 4 months before he ever got his PhD. Come in. He told us, y'all treated, back then we only treated once a year, and that was September. And he says, your bees got through the winter, he got up to March, and they all died, right? And we all said yes. He said, well, you treated too late. You should be treating in July, August. And I can attest to that. This year, and last year I used Aprivar in July and August, 2025. 2026, or no, this is 26, 25, 24, I used Aprivar. It took me, and when I started doing OAV on November the 1st, 2 years ago, it took me till Christmas time to get those hives under control as far as the mites go, and where I had more or less a zero mite drop on my chloroplast boards. This year, I switched over to ApriGuard and got rid of Aprivar. And by the 15th of November, I had hardly, almost basically zero mite drop after the OA treatment, after 24 hours after the OA treatment. Because what I did in July with ApriGuard, and then I hit him in September with Formic Pro, it was a huge amount of, you're suppressing that mite load down. And the thing that Sammy always said, the analogy was this: you want to have 95% healthy bees in September, October to go through your winter. Where previous years, when he first came to that club meeting, he said your bees were basically like cancer patients. They were 95% sick going into the winter, and they held on as best they could. But by the time March rolled along, they said they had enough and they died. And that's pretty much what it amounts to. And then, like I say, the last 2 years with switching Aprivar to ApriGuard, hitting that mite load in the beginning of, after the honey supers were off, and getting those mite loads down before winter actually hit is a huge, it's huge as far as getting your hives through the winter and getting them into spring. So it's like this here extended release. Hopefully in another year, you can put that on. I'm already thinking about July right there coming out, or right in that area there. That would be another option because it's not temperature sensitive.
Right.
Yep.
And getting, and it's also 3 months long, and get your hives through the heat of the summer, I'll say, for me.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's a little after 10, and we will catch you all next time. Good night, Dinah, and all that. So here we
Night,
go.
Donna.
Thank you, guys.
Night.
Thank you.